If I could have the Star Wars intro playing right now, that'd be so cool. But I don't want to get copyrighted. So
Yeah, dang copyright, man.
welcome to From the Shelf, where May the 4th be with you, everybody. It is Star Wars Day, so we're talking about the fucking sequels.
Yep. Where do we go next year?
The spinoffs.
Okay. There will be one more to talk about by then, actually.
Yeah, because the Mandalorian Grogu one's coming out.
Nice.
So there you go. So the sequel trilogy, because Disney eventually ended up buying Lucasfilm, and immediately we're like, "Hey, we're doing Star Wars Episode 7," and we were like, "Oh, yo, Episode 7? That's crazy!"
Yeah, as if they're gonna buy it and then not immediately start making movies.
And now the prequels are divisive, and the sequels are also divisive.
Yeah, well, the same thing's gonna happen that happened with the prequels. Is people hated the prequels when they came out, but now there's like this giant fan base because it was the people who grew up with it.
Didn't I say that this time last year in our prequel video?
Yeah, you probably did. And then yeah, that's what's gonna happen with this. Is people are like, oh god, this sequel trilogy is awful, but then the people who grew up with
Something new's
it
going to come out. Oh, they weren't so bad after all.
Yeah, in 15, 20 years, people will be like, man, those sequels were so good.
It's exactly what's going to happen. Star Wars fans, you don't know what the fuck you like.
But starting off, to be fair, The Force Awakens is good.
Oh, let me get that out. So, I was thinking about this the other day. Each Star Wars trilogy, I have a different numbered favorite. So the original trilogy, the second movie is my favorite. The prequel trilogy, the third movie is my favorite. The sequel trilogy, the first movie is my favorite.
That I feel like that's probably going to be the most common ranking.
Yeah, but
what I'm saying is you're a basic bitch.
Fuck you. Anyway, so we'll start with The Force Awakens. Obviously, this takes place 30 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I think it's about that. The gap always seems like it's 30 years ish.
I want to say around that. So 30 years.
Actually, no, it was shorter between 3 and 4, wasn't it? It's like 19.
It's 19 years between Episode 3 and Episode 4. Yeah, because Luke.
Yep, because Luke. Yep, exactly.
But this movie, like I said, it's 30 years after. We have a new group of evil, the First Order. And we now have the Rebellion instead of the Republic. And we have a new bad guy, Kylo Ren, who looks like Darth Revan mixed with Darth Vader.
I wonder if that's... The Darth Vader part's definitely on purpose.
Yeah, but he looks... Do you know what Darth Revan looks like?
I think I've seen him, but I can't think of him off the top of my head.
He looks a lot like Darth Revan. I actually do like his lightsaber with the bladed hilt. I actually think that's really cool myself. I know some people think it's stupid. I think it's neat.
Well, I remember when they first showed it, people were like, "This doesn't make sense," because typically when you have a hilt on a blade like that, it's to block the blade from hitting your hands. But it's like, but there's the little metal bit that sticks out. But then there's like this whole thing where I think it also acts as a vent for the unstable kyber crystal.
I think so.
So there's a visual like obviously it's just because they wanted it to look different from a typical lightsaber, but then they're like, let's make an actual logical reason why those are there.
So there's something I want to talk about with them. I will say this before anything. When I sat down in the theater to watch this and the opening crawl started and when the Star Wars theme, I was with my friend and we were both like, we giggled. We were very happy. Because, it had been a long time since there was a Star Wars movie when this came out.
Yep, that is true.
But the marketing for this movie makes you think Finn is going to be the main character.
Yeah, it really did. It did push him.
He's not!
Center. No, not even.
He is not. He is... I don't know who from the original trilogy I would compare him to, because he's not the Han Solo. Because Poe is more of the Han Solo.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a one-to-one. Oh God, no. He might be the C-3PO.
I was gonna say Lando, but that's kind of racist.
Yeah, no, he's nothing like Lando. At least not initially.
But our main character is actually Rey. Who is Rey? You'll find out fully in 2 movies because they give you a bullshit explanation in the next movie. And anywho,
yeah, I don't think any of that was planned.
I'll get to that.
There's a lot of back and forth with that. Mm-hmm. So, starting off with Force Awakens, this movie looks fantastic.
Dude, I'm gonna say that all 3 of these movies actually look really good.
Some of the second and third have a few hit and miss parts, but Force Awakens is solid throughout.
J.J. Abrams directed this, so he is one of the only people to work on Star Wars and Star Trek, as far as I know.
That's illegal.
He did it.
Yeah, I know people say it a lot, but the story of this it's really just a retread of A New Hope.
I was literally just about to say that.
Oh wow, this never happens ever.
I was about to say one of the biggest criticisms for this movie is it's a lot like the original Star Wars, but okay, it works.
No, it's a pseudo remake, but also a sequel.
Mm-hmm. Han Solo is back in this, which was great to see him and Chewie back on the Millennium Falcon. It was like Leia's back.
Yeah, the only one who's
not
not really.
I don't know if I want to say Luke is back.
No, he's not. I wouldn't count that.
But this movie focuses on you because you have the Star Killer base. You're going to tell me that wasn't based on Force Unleashed? You're lying to me.
Yeah, no. Actually, no. Star Killer was Luke Skywalker's original name. That name has just been lingering in the lore for forever. But yeah,
was Skywalker originally Star Killer? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the original script it was Star Killer, and
then you got the guy you got Force Unleashed, who was Star Killer, and then the Star Killer base. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's just like if the name finally makes it into canon, and it's like, oh, that was a big
Force
switch.
Unleashed is. I gotta say this too. Once Disney bought Star Wars, everything aside from the first 6 movies was decanonized.
Yeah, pretty much. I think there's a few stragglers here and there, but yeah, for the most part, it all just got So Force Unleashed 3, that's never happening.
Force Unleashed is not canon. Knights of the Republic's no longer canon. A bunch of games aren't canon anymore. A bunch of books aren't canon anymore. But anywho, so you find out some deep. I don't want to say deep lore, but in between Return of the Jedi and this movie, Leia and Han had a son, Ben Solo, who is Kylo Ren. It's common knowledge by now, guys. And he is kind of a whiny brat.
He throws several tantrums in this.
Huh.
Although I will say that the stormtroopers like noping away during one of his tantrums. I'm going to say this
about him right off the bat. He has easily the best character arc of the entire trilogy. Mainly because he has one.
Has one? I knew you were going to say that.
So, because, Leia's his mom, he's the grandson of Darth Vader, nephew of Luke, and he wants to be the next Darth Vader. How old is he?
Yeah, I was actually wondering that. I'm not sure.
Probably in his mid-20s.
I would think so. Because there has to have been a solid gap between when he was in.
I don't think they had him literally right after Luke defeated the Emperor. I don't think that happened that way.
Yeah, but there had to be a gap between when he was training with Luke and
when he became Kylo Ren. Yeah,
there had to have been a bit of time. At least
I don't understand his name. Like, why is he not like Darth Ren?
No idea.
Why is it Kylo Ren? That's just weird to me.
I also don't understand why there was this whole like Knights of Ren thing, and they just where'd they go?
They just die in the Rise of Skywalker.
But, it's just nothing.
But you find out Rey is very Force sensitive, and Luke's lightsaber is calling to her, which doesn't make sense when you find out who she is. But I'll get back to that. As the sequels explain more, it makes The Force Awakens make less sense. But
that is true. No, it's because we'll say it throughout this whole thing, but none of this was planned. There was. You look at the stuff that happens in Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, and it's just like you were just throwing stuff at the wall.
I've heard this. I can't confirm any of this. I heard J.J. Abrams actually had an outline for an entire trilogy, and then Last Jedi happened because Rian Johnson wrote it, and he didn't follow what J.J. Abrams wrote.
Yeah, why wasn't J.J. Why didn't he do?
Why didn't he just do the whole trilogy?
Yeah, I don't know. It's very weird.
Like, I think it was Jeremy Johns who said this, and he was like, "You're going to tell me Last Jedi would have been the way it was if J.J. Abrams did it?" No.
But at the same time, J.J. Abrams is awful at answering questions, so there would have still been problems.
But I think they should have if he had a plan for the whole trilogy, just let him do the whole trilogy.
Or at least follow the outline.
But we'll get to that in a minute. Han Solo fucking dies in this movie.
Yeah, and that starts a trend.
I hope you're not attached to the original trilogy characters, guys.
Yeah, God. Oh, had Han never used Chewie's bowcaster before?
I like this thing.
Because like all that,
I did like that bit. I did like that bit because he's all happy about it, and I also did like.
He's never used it.
I did like the scene where Han died because I mean you can see it coming from a mile away.
Oh yeah,
but one, the acting in this movie is phenomenal. Just all the actors fucking kill it in this movie.
Yep, they're pretty solid.
And Han Solo is going there to try and redeem his son, which is just something a good dad does. But yeah. I think they shouldn't have revealed who Kylo Ren's parents were right away. Like maybe reveal Darth Vader's his grandfather, but then don't tell you if Luke's his dad or if Leia's his mom.
Yeah, honestly, I think you could have saved the reveal for the scene when Han dies.
Yeah. Well, because he says, he's talking to Vader's helmet at a point, which, where the hell did he get that?
Yeah, that's weird.
Because as far as I thought, it was burned. It was just gone because, they burned Darth Vader's body, but did he dig it up?
No idea.
Like, what happened there? Did Luke just be like, here's your grandfather's dead helmet, buddy. Here you go. What happened there? Also, Snoke exists.
Oh, yeah, right. He's just a hologram in this one, though. A looming threat.
Because he's totally the main villain of the sequel trilogy, right?
Well, in a way.
They make you think he's gonna be.
No, in a way, he is partly. But
I got thoughts about that we'll get to in Rise of Skywalker. Also, General Hux is here to be a punching bag for Kylo Ren.
Yeah, which also comes back.
That's all he is. He's a punching bag for Kylo Ren.
Yeah. And then you got BB-8. Who's that? BB-8's actually a fantastic follow-up to R2.
Oh, dude, I love BB-8. I think he's so adorable.
And mostly practical, which is
dude, that's something I love about this trilogy, is that the prequels were very CGI heavy. There's a lot more practical effects in the sequels, which I do appreciate. I mean, there's still CG, obviously, but it looks a lot better. And I'm going to say this, guys, right off the bat.
Uh-oh. I know where you're going with this, and this is trouble.
I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this. I kind of like the sequels more than the prequels. And is the lore stupid as shit in the sequels? Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, I know, but you like looking at them more.
But they're also just better directed. Because George Lucas is not a good director. I'm sorry, he's just not.
But more so,
the dialogue is just better. They talk like normal fucking human beings.
That said, though, yeah, a lot of the logical things with these sequels. I will say Force Awakens, no real problems there, but until you come back, yeah, Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, there are a lot of logical issues.
But Rise of Skywalker on its own was a great return to form for Star Wars.
Stylistically.
And when it came back, everybody loved it at the time. I don't remember anybody really shitting on Force Awakens when it came out. I remember everyone just being like, Star Wars is back!
Yeah, that's what happened with Phantom Menace, too. But people were really mad about that. Walking out.
Yeah.
Man, you think the MCU's been a roller coaster? Just look at freaking Star Wars.
Dude, the only parts of Star Wars that are like consistently loved is like the original trilogy. But even the original trilogy has flaws that are noticeable.
Yeah, actually, now I don't. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I found the Starkiller destruction scene a lot more impactful than the original Death Star scene.
I want to give you shit for that, but I can't.
I'm sorry, just seeing the perspective of the people on the planet as it's happening is just like, oh wow. Aside from compared to just like, oh well, that little blip in the distance is gone.
Of the Death Star, it made me think about something. And Hux is supposed to be like the new Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah.
Grand Moff Tarkin could order Vader around, and Vader would just be like, all right, whatever. Even though Vader could kill him whenever he freaking wanted to.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren just talks down to Hux and just doesn't give a shit.
Yep.
Though I did like him and Ray's fight at the end, even though Ray should really have had no freaking chance
No, and they do
whatsoever.
comment on that.
I mean, he did have a sweet ass scar go up his face after that, though. That was
Yeah, you
cool.
know, I think he looks a lot better with the scar than without.
Oh, he looks so much more badass with the scar. Like, and then like I did also like when the planet was like cracking as him and Ray were fighting.
Yeah, that's cool.
We didn't even comment. Finn was a stormtrooper.
Yeah, because it's not really relevant.
Oh, and Poe Dameron exists.
Yeah,
He's there.
he is.
That's about all I got to say. I think he's a cool character, but he
is.
doesn't accomplish anything.
Well, he's gone for a giant chunk of the movie.
But yeah, on its own, just in a vacuum, Force Awakens is great.
Yeah, no, it's entertaining.
I think.
It's fantastic. Oh, that Falcon chase scene is one of the standouts.
It is. It's so good. And there's these big squid monsters at one point.
And then at the end, Rey finds Luke. I wonder if that moment amounts to anything at all.
The Last Jedi, everybody.
Yep. So it doesn't.
Like that dude. So I was talking to, I forgot who it was. I know it wasn't you about this. It wasn't you, but I'm not going to say their name because I don't like giving people away. But The Last Jedi is a movie written specifically to antagonize the audience.
Oh, so like Joker 2.
Because everything you thought was going on, the movie gives you the middle finger.
Yeah, no, it really, like, that's why, immediately Luke throws lightsaber away. Oh, subversion of expectations. Well, get used to it, because
that's the entire fucking movie.
It really is. It really is.
On top of nothing really happening in this. Because it's just one long chase scene between the First Order and the Resistance.
You're not wrong.
With sprinklings of Rey and Kylo Ren bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a few relevant things. Like, you see Kylo Ben thinking about shooting Leia, and not shooting.
And then
shooting
Leia floats in space like Mary fucking Poppins.
No, Kylo does not shoot though. He thinks like, oh, if I shoot, I'm going to kill my mother. I'm not going to shoot, but then the ship gets blown up anyways. Mm-hmm. And we don't even talk about freaking Admiral Akbar's dead.
He just unceremoniously, he just fucking dies.
But yeah, this is where we find out Leia's, I guess, been training because she could do stuff.
Yeah, she was training with Luke, I think, after Return of the Jedi, which they sort of get into in the next movie.
Yeah, training with Luke and sorry, I gotta say it because everybody always says it. Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Okay, now. The character assassination of Luke needs to be talked about because what the fuck is this?
Did you see his interviews for this movie at the time?
He did not like it.
He was mad the whole time. I mean, he was trying not to say anything because obviously he doesn't, want to look bad, but he was clearly not happy with this movie.
Well, let's take Luke, who was the galaxy's biggest optimist, who always thought that there was still good in his father, and he was right. And now he's some bitter, cranky old man living in seclusion on a planet because he instinctively thought about killing somebody in the dark side, then felt shame about it. So you're gonna fucking hide?
Yeah.
Like that's not. You're supposed to be like the king of you're supposed to be like the Jedi God now, and you turn into a little whiny old brat. I don't like it.
Yeah, you covered it.
Like Han Solo in Force Awakens. Say what you want about him dying. I think it was good for the story, but say what you want about him dying. Still felt like Han Solo. This does not feel like Luke Skywalker.
No, and I think that's part of why Mark Hamill was so upset with this movie.
Mm-hmm. And you see Rey herself getting frustrated with it because this is not who she thought he was. Because he's not. Ugh.
Yeah. Moving on from that.
Oh, then Kylo Ren smashes his helmet against an elevator door, just cause.
Another tantrum.
But now him and Rey are like connected by the Force somehow.
Yep.
Which Snoke claims he did, but I'll get back to that in the next movie.
And at one point, he Ben Swallows.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyone who thought they were brother and who thought they were cousins or something, well, that would be weird.
Well, in certain forms of the lore, they have a non-biological but somewhat somewhat connected family tree.
I know what you're talking about too.
But they'd be
And I hate it.
they'd be like second cousin once removed, sort of like one of those nonsense things, and also non-biological.
Because
So
the common theory between Force Awakens and The Last Jedi was that Rey was Luke's daughter. Because, one, she's super powerful with the Force. Two, Luke's fucking lightsaber was calling to her.
yeah,
So it all just kind of lined up that she would be a Skywalker. And another theory was that Snoke was actually Darth Plagueis the Wise. I don't know if that was ever really in the cards, but that was
no, I don't. I do remember that though. That was one of the most speculated things.
Well, I'm gonna get that out of the way. Snoke's fucking nobody. He just gets chopped in half.
Yeah, I do like that moment though.
But it was another, oh, this guy's the main bad guy. He's totally important. Just dies.
Subversion of expectation. And then, okay, yeah, another one. The whole pointless Canto Bite scene. Everything about that. Nothing happens. Like I was tempted to skip the.
You sidelined Finn, and John Boyega's such a good actor, and you give him nothing to do. Like literally nothing to do.
Because that task of they're trying to stop the signal thing, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Like this is like in a video game. Like I'm gonna use Final Fantasy VII Remake here for a second. You know the part where before you go fight the I forgot what it's called, but it's your Tifa, Cloud, and Barrett, and you're going through Shinra, and like you have to turn off all these lights to just go around this area. You know what I'm talking about? You know that part I'm talking about?
It's not ringing a bell, but I
think
sure.
it's like chapter 6 or something. It's right before Cloud falls into the church and meets Aerith.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, point is, the game makes you do all these extra tasks to do one thing. And that's kind of what this Canto Bite bit feels like. Like a video game making you do these extra side quests before you get back to the main quest.
Video game padding. Yeah, and this, I think this movie's like 2.5 hours long, which it does not need to be.
You could have shaved that whole Canto Bite section out because it leads to nowhere anyway.
Nothing plot relevant happens, and they fail. Like nothing. It's such a nothing scene. It's yep.
Oh, and Laura Dern's character sucks.
You know what's funny is okay, so Poe is a lot more active in this one because he's around most of the time, and a lot of it is him butting heads with his higher ups, first Leia, then Holdo. It turns out, even though she was kind of being annoying the whole time, that she was right, because pretty much everything Poe does in this movie gets a lot of people killed.
But then her plan ends up getting fucked up anyway.
Yeah, but that's also part of what Poe, Finn, and Rose did, made her plan go worse than it otherwise would have. They might have gotten a little bit caught, but yeah, I'm sorry, but Poe, Finn, and Rose got a lot of people killed in that escape scene.
But her communication skills are terrible. Like she just wouldn't say anything, and that was frustrating to me.
And then at the end, it turns out that she kind of liked Poe. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, her sacrifice scene is visually cool, although again, lore issues. I got questions about how that works with light speed, whatever. Cool scene though, really cool.
What I don't get too is like Rey and Ben's force connection. Like they could fucking transfer solid matter between the two of them.
Yep.
I don't get it.
Actually, that one point at the very end, Luke hands something to Leia, which actually, what was that he handed her?
Looked like dice or something. I don't know what the hell it was.
I could not place it, but he did he actually hand that to her?
Because I don't. We'll get back to that. Because I know what you're talking about, and I have something contradicts in that scene, but itself. But anyway, so because of their connection, Kylo Ren finds out Rey's parents are nobody. Hey guys, you wanted her to be from somewhere? No, fuck you.
Yeah. Subversion of expectations. Number 5, 6, 7. I don't know. So many. It's just so many. It's the whole movie.
The entire movie. It's frustrating. Like, as a viewer, when you're just telling the audience, fuck you, you were wrong, you're just going to piss them off. And the amount of people that were... Like, the audience to critic score ratio in this movie was insane to me. Like, it had, like, what, a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score was like a 30?
Yeah, I'm sorry. If the critic score is ever higher than the audience score, that's not good. That's the absolute worst possible situation for any movie.
Because like the first time I watched this movie, I was kind of in denial about it. I was like, "Oh no, there's no way this was that bad." And then I watched it the second time, and I was like, "This is fucking aggravating."
No, even the first time I walked out of that, actually, because remember, this is the second time I watched Last Jedi. The first time I watched it, I also walked away from that Canto Bight scene, just like, why was that in that movie?
Everyone thought that, even if you enjoyed the movie. Which, hey, if you like this movie, great. I'm happy you did. Nobody likes that Canto Bight scene. It's fucking stupid. And the Benicio del Toro's character is such a shithead.
Yep.
There's no follow up on that. Nothing happens to him.
Again, because he was in the Canto Bight scene, which doesn't amount to anything.
And then Rose is also barely in Rise of Skywalker. Now that I think about it.
There's a reason. People hated her in this movie. And
there's
one moment with her at the end. Sorry, it's actually leading up to that. One moment at the end always stood out to me, and it still does this time, is Rose stops Finn from sacrificing himself to destroy the cannon. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad Finn didn't die, but for all she knew in doing that, she just killed everybody who was hiding in that cave.
I mean, and Finn was, doing what he thought was right, and then she screwed him over, then had the most awkward kiss scene I've ever seen. And there's been Star Wars scenes where brothers and sisters have kissed each other. Like,
no, it really was just like, because she kisses him and he has no reaction because obviously he's in love with Poe. But
yes, exactly.
but no, yeah, it is just like, where did that come from?
I love how Rey doesn't even contribute to the final battle, really.
No, because the final battle is Luke not dying.
So yeah, Luke shows up,
no, he
and he fights Kylo Ren, and you can tell here if Luke really wanted to, he could have kicked Kylo Ren's ass or the frick he wanted.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But then he's like, "Strike me down in anger, and I'll be with you forever." So he stabs Luke, but Luke's a force projection. If Luke's a force projection, and your lightsaber went right through him, how was he able to hand Leia something?
Yeah, I think that's why I was asking. Like, did he actually do that? Because if so, then he was doing that thing that Rey and Kylo did.
Had to be, otherwise that makes no sense. But then what I loved about that, and I didn't catch this till I watched it this time, was like, "Strike me down, I'll be with you forever." So after he stabs him, he's like, "See you around, kid." So he just backhanded Kylo because he's like, "Fuck you." But then,
yep.
Why did that kill Luke?
Because I don't know if you noticed, but he was straining a lot to do that because he had been disconnected from the Force however long it had been. He had just not been using the Force. And,
that bothered
projecting himself that far for that long strained him literally to death.
That bothered me. Luke being disconnected. Luke in general in this movie bothered me, which just sucks because I love Luke Skywalker. But
again, if it even bothers the guy playing him, something is wrong.
Did I mention Puppet Yoda yet?
No.
Puppet Yoda's in this movie, and I guess Force Ghost can conjure lightning. Okay.
I mean, it does kind of follow up on what Obi-Wan said initially about how did he phrase it? I'll become more powerful.
Strike me down and I'll become more powerful than you could ever imagine, or something like that.
Okay, so Yoda using Force lightning that powerful kind of confirms that. Because
so why don't you just send Ghost Yoda to just fucking nuke the First Order with a lightning bolt?
Yeah, Force Ghosts are super overpowered.
But again, Luke dies. At least when Han died, it meant something. Luke dying just felt like another character assassination moment.
Yeah, the first time I saw this, I was like, "Wait, what just happened? Why did he die? What happened?"
Dude, if you were gonna kill Luke off, at least let him die like a hero. Which I guess he kind of did, but it didn't feel right because nothing about Luke in this movie feels right.
It's actually the exact same thing that happens with Sora at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing.
But Last Jedi, of these three, I think I like it the least. I know a lot of people are going to say Rise of Skywalker, and I get why. But
Rise of Skywalker has a lot more spectacle.
Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, Last Jedi, me and I've said it, Cody agreed with me. Nothing fucking happens!
Yep.
Oh, again, Hux. How do you expect anyone to listen to him when Snoke is throwing him around and Kylo Ren is just throwing him around? Like that whole scene where Hux is like, Who are you to tell me what to do? Kylo Ren starts choking him because he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in charge now, motherfucker."
Yeah.
But then he does it again in front of everybody. Just throws him against the wall. Nobody's gonna listen to him. Guy has no authority. You have anything else to say about this movie, Cody?
No, I think that about wraps it up. I had so few things to say about Last Jedi.
So Rise of Skywalker. Are Poe, Finn, and Rey really friends? Because all they seem to do is bitch at each other.
Yeah, they are bitching at each other.
Oh, I forgot to mention this in Last Jedi, so the picture's gonna go back to Last Jedi here for a second.
Damn it.
Poe finally introduced himself to Rey, and I didn't think about that because they never actually met in Force Awakens.
Yeah, it didn't click. I didn't realize that either, but yes, that is a thing.
So back to Rise of Skywalker. Somehow Palpatine is back.
Okay, I want to get this out of the way because I hear that criticism more than anything.
Well, I mean, that's literally what they say in the movie.
Yeah, I know. Somehow Palpatine returned. It gets so criticized, but it makes sense. It's so overhated. Like, obviously, Poe doesn't know how he's back. Why would Poe know how he's back?
Hold on. He's only here because they killed Snoke in the last movie and needed a villain.
Yes.
This is the first bit of course correction that Rise of Skywalker makes. A lot of Rise of Skywalker is course correction from Last Jedi.
Damage control. It's exactly what it is. But I don't understand the criticism. People are like, okay, but the movie didn't explain it. No, people are like, the movie didn't explain it. But the thing is, yeah, it did. Were you not watching the first 5 minutes?
The dark side leads to powers one might consider unnatural or abilities, or the fuck he said.
No, but it's obvious. He was cloning. He was cloning. It's a clone body.
Oh, by the way, that's where Snoke came from.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did people not catch the beginning of the movie because it was very obvious that Palpatine was cloning himself and somehow it doesn't matter how somehow got his ghost, his spirit into the clone body. I'm sorry. That's not the weirdest thing that the Force has done.
I think it's more just. From a meta sense, he clearly was not meant to be brought back.
No, but
they just needed a villain.
I think the criticism of the somehow Palpatine returned line is unwarranted because the movie clearly shows how he returned. The details don't matter.
But that's another bit of damage control. Just so Snoke isn't nobody, it was Palpatine the whole time.
Yeah, it was a somewhat like partially failed, but partially deliberately malformed clone.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I think that's really stupid.
Yeah, it is a little dumb. But I don't know if you noticed, but Snoke was actually big.
Snoke was huge.
Like not just the projection, obviously, in a
even in the throne room.
Yeah,
he was huge.
He was big.
But now because he's really just Palpatine, Snoke's not his own person because Rian Johnson killed him for no reason other than fuck you.
Pretty much.
Oh, and then another bit of course correction. Kylo Ren rebuilt his helmet, because...
Yeah, I don't get it. I guess they wanted his face on screen less. I have no idea.
I don't get it.
Oh,
another bit of course correction. In Last Jedi, they broke Luke's lightsaber. Now they somehow put it back together.
Yeah, I was actually very confused about that because I was like, wait, is that supposed to be Luke's lightsaber? Is it? Okay,
well, she says straight up, I'll earn your brother's lightsaber.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so they fixed it, I guess. That was glossed over. But what
was the Kyber crystal not destroyed?
I guess not. I thought that's what the explosion was.
So did I.
I guess not, though.
It's
but what
just
happened
another bit of damage control.
What happened to his green saber, though? Where did that go?
Places.
I guess.
Because he has it in the flashbacks of Last Jedi. It's the same green lightsaber he had. Also, why as a Force Ghost does Luke still have a robot hand? He shouldn't.
The same reason they're wearing clothes.
Yeah. But as a robot, he shouldn't have a robot hand as a ghost. Because when Darth Vader came back as a ghost, he didn't have any robot limbs. He was just an old man, not Hayden Christensen.
No, he turned back into Hayden Christensen. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's another bit of course correction, is that Luke was like, I was wrong. My character was bad in Last Jedi. I was like, wow, okay. You're acknowledging that you were full of shit.
Honestly, if they didn't do that, Mark Hamill might not have come back, although he was probably signed on for it.
So, something I need to mention here. in between the release of Force Awakens: The Last Jedi, Carrie Fisher did pass away.
Yeah.
So all of Leia's appearances in Rise of Skywalker, because there's no way she was going to be able to film it, are all CG.
I wasn't sure about that.
I don't know how they did the voice. Well, because she filmed all of her scenes in The Last Jedi, but nothing of Rise of Skywalker had been made at that point.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, like, because you see her briefly during Rey's training. I wasn't sure if they had like managed to film that or not.
No, that was all of her bits in Rise of Skywalker are CG.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's good CG. It's pretty convincing. A lot better than the Grand Moff Tarkin CG in Rogue One.
It's close.
But I don't know how they did the voice. I don't know if it was AI, if it was an impersonator, if they just took words and made new sentences out of them. I don't know how they.
I know. Okay, I'm trying to think. They might have done something similar. I think it was in the goddamn, which I think it was in Mandalorian. Either that or one of the flashbacks in the Boba Fett one. Either way, there's a flashback with young Luke. I know to do that. I if I'm not mistaken, they had Mark Hamill actually record the lines, but then used AI to turn his current voice into his younger voice.
So maybe they got somebody to record the lines and use a voice filter to make it sound like Carrie Fisher.
Basically, maybe somebody who can get the inflection, like Carrie Fisher's inflection close, and then do AI from there. I don't know. I don't know if it was there yet, but I know that's what they did with Luke in one of the flashbacks.
Yeah,
in one of the shows.
Sounds about right. Oh, and the biggest bit of damage control. Rey's parents aren't nobody because her father is Palpatine's son, so she's Palpatine's granddaughter. Okay, first things first. When the fuck did he have a kid?
Yeah, I don't want to think about Palpatine doing.
When did that happen? Did it happen like during, like when he was the Emperor in the original trilogy? Like, is that when he had a kid?
I don't know. Maybe it's a Homelander situation. Who knows?
If she is Palpatine's granddaughter, why is Luke and Anakin's lightsaber calling to their arch enemy's granddaughter? Am I missing something?
I got nothing.
Like, if anything, wouldn't it be calling to Kylo Ren then?
You'd think.
Because he's actually their descendant, not Rey. Also, there's no follow-up on that ever. Like, she mentions in the original, the first movie, the orange lady alien person. I can't remember her name. But
Maz Kanata, I think.
Yeah, she looks at Han at one point in Force Awakens, like, who's the girl? So Han had to know. And then, like, she mentions that the lightsaber was calling to her, so she had to know why. But that never gets followed up on because there's so much fucking damage control in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, Luke, when he's Force ghosting, talking to her later,
he knew she was a Palpatine the whole time.
He said him and Leia knew that she was, the whole time.
Who are you? Why are you here? If you know, why are you asking?
I don't know. Okay, so the entire first half of this movie, and that's not an exaggeration, is a MacGuffin hunt.
They're going to find a little dagger because and then C-3PO's memory has to get wiped because of. Oh, also, what was fucking Finn gonna tell Rey?
Oh, 100%. It's got to be that he was Force sensitive, but the fact that they have that line and then they have Poe ask him about it later, and then it's just like they just drop the plot point. It's like, okay, then why bring it up in the first place?
They dropped it entirely.
But I'm like 90% sure he was going to say he's Force sensitive.
I guess.
Though I don't know why that's such a big secret.
Who knows, man?
Oh, this one, they fly now. As a moment, kind of funny, but lore-wise, makes no sense. This is not new tech.
I love how Rey shot lightning once, then never does it again.
Oh yeah, I mean, she totally killed Chewie.
Yeah. Dude, when Lando showed up on screen, I was like, all right, so when's he going to die? But Lando doesn't die. Thank God.
No, because they already... I don't think Leia's death was planned. I know that there was this trend where, kill Han, kill Luke. You're like, oh, okay, so they're going to kill Leia now, which, yeah, that is what ended up happening. I don't think that was the plan, though.
See, that one I'm not going to give the writers and directors too much shit for, because Carrie Fisher passed away. What were you going to do? You had nothing to work with.
But I am a bit confused as to why Leia died, though. This is not like the Luke situation that should not have strained her to death.
I got some bullshit about that too. I'll get to it a bit. I actually did like Kylo Ren and Rey's fight on the water planet. I forgot what it was called. Like the shot where he's walking out of the water with his lightsaber was like, okay, that was badass.
Yeah, it's a cool looking moment. Although
that
we didn't talk about
Go ahead.
We three movies we did not talk about it at all. The lightsaber choreography is very downgraded from the prequels.
Yeah, it is.
But okay, you're like, all right, considering it being a follow up to the original trilogy. Okay, so it wasn't as flashy there. I guess
in the prequels, you had a bunch of Jedi training each other in lightsaber combat.
Yeah.
You don't really have that in these, so it makes sense that they're not as acrobatic, flippy, crazy combat. They're just
So this is a follow up to the original trilogy choreography, which was not so flashy. So okay,
granted, that doesn't make the fights bad. It actually makes them feel more raw, which I like. But you only really have two lightsaber wielders in this trilogy: Kylo Ren and Rey.
Finn holds one briefly.
Oh, and Luke, I guess. But this fight proves, because I was watching it, that Kylo Ren is the better fighter than Rey. Because he had her beat.
That should not be a surprise.
It shouldn't be. But he had her beat until Leia connected to him with the Force, and then Rey stabs him through the stomach, which... Weren't you trying to save him the whole trilogy? Or am I missing something?
Well, I mean, she does change her mind immediately about that stab.
I did like the scene where he does talk to Han Solo. To clarify, that's not a Force ghost. Han Solo did not have the Force.
Yeah.
It was a memory. And it was really what he needed because he was conflicted the whole time. And full circle, I think it would have been cool if she really was Palpatine's granddaughter. That was the plan the whole time. If, like, Kylo had become good in Last Jedi and Rey had become bad, I think that might have actually been neat. Like, if they had flip-flopped and then you had the third movie be about Kylo trying to save her.
I think that would have been a stretch to get it to that point.
I just think it would have been neat.
Might have needed a fourth movie for that one.
It might have. But now he's a good guy because he has a character. Good job, Kylo Ren.
Yay.
So the problem with Rey is the only Star Wars protagonist of the three trilogies, Anakin, Luke, her. She doesn't take damage, ever. Like, Luke gets his hand chopped off. Need I say what happens to Anakin? Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Rey takes no damage.
Yeah, not until that final battle, but that's different.
But then it's neglected or negated like a minute later.
And followed up by another weird kiss. Was that set up?
Dude, also, the way she defeats Palpatine, I think is really stupid. Like, because, Snoke says, oh yeah, I created the Force connection between you two, which means Palpatine really did it. Then he absorbs their Force connection.
But she is all the Jedi. And
he is all the Sith. I'm not going to lie, when he shot that lightning into the sky, I immediately thought, unlimited power!
Chronically online.
Yes. I have no life. But this bugs me. Okay?
Oh, no.
So she defeats Palpatine, and she's just dead. She's a corpse, right? Kylo saves her life. Or Ben. It's Ben at this point.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, Ben also killed all the Knights of Ren, so fuck whatever loyalty they had to him.
Yeah, they were not important at all.
But he, Force heals her. They kiss.
For some reason.
He dies. But then he becomes one with the Force. Why didn't Rey become one with the Force when she died?
It wasn't quick enough.
All the Jedi, so she's got all this good power in her. But Kylo Ren, who'd been evil a good bit of his life, becomes one with the Force?
Because she needed to come back.
No, you can't convince me that's not stupid.
Did she fully die? I don't.
She was a corpse. She was dead.
Maybe she still had a few heartbeats left. I don't know.
But then as soon as Kylo dies, Leia dies, or becomes one with the Force at the same time. Okay. So.
Oh, geez, another thing.
This trilogy as a whole suffers from a big problem that I'm gonna actually compliment the prequels for. As much as I may not have liked them, fundamentally, you could tell they had a very clear beginning, middle, and end for.
Well, yeah, I mean, George Lucas had been planning those since forever.
Like, say what you want about their quality, at least there was direction there. The sequel trilogy seemed to have a setup and then just threw darts at the wall for the second movie. Then the third movie was like, I gotta fix all of that because it doesn't make sense.
It's too late by then. And then you just get this just disjointed mess of a trilogy. It's like,
But you could tell he also didn't want to like disregard The Last Jedi, so he had to like make it fit while still respecting what happened in The Last Jedi. So it was a mess. So I kind of don't want to give J.J. Abrams too much crap. Like he worked with what he could. Doesn't mean it was great.
It's tough. But you know what? What happened that's actually just it's the best thing ever. Chewie finally got his damn medal.
He did.
42 years it took for that correction to be made.
And then Rey is apparently Rey Skywalker now because she said so. That's just dumb.
Yeah. I can't defend that one.
Even my dog's upset about it. He's growling in the background.
That's weird. Maybe she just really wanted to last. Honestly, better than the freaking Solo explanation.
We're not talking about that this year.
Just foreshadow.
We'll talk about that next year.
Next year.
But like honestly, again, I enjoy these more than the prequels simply because they're fundamentally better made movies.
Can't really argue that point.
Like you may like the lore in the prequels better, and you're fine to think that, but they are hard to watch. Like they look really bad at points. The dialogue is borderline preschoolish.
No, the dialogue's the biggest problem with the prequels for sure.
I truly, deeply love you. No one talks like that.
No.
But that's a sequel trilogy, everybody. That's all I got. I'm drained. Cody, what you got, buddy?
It's been a while. That covers it. Honestly, that was everything.
Well, audience, I hope the Force was with you today to get through these movies. But Cody, what do we talk about next time, my friend?
Well, it's finally time to switch sides and talk about Batman Begins.
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
Because as you pointed out, we have not talked about a single DC movie.
See, when you said switch sides, I thought you were going to say Star Trek. I was like, dude, we cannot do another sci-fi thing.
That would have been hilarious. That would have been funny.
But all right, Batman Begins. I think it's a great idea. I'm very excited. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for listening today. I'm sorry this one was so long, but when you're talking about 3 movies, you got a lot to say.
This is true.
So, but with that being said, we'll see you guys next time for Batman Begins. Take care.